Exo-Mycology. Have mushrooms been growing in that fertile Mars soil this whole time? Um, well, a paper was released a few weeks ago, and some scientists think that they have, using pictures of the same spot of Martian land over a few days, think they see evidence that there's something growing there. Very exciting, if true. Is it true? Probably not. Here are the pictures, first of all, a couple of the pictures that are evidence. Um, that looks pretty cool, like a very close up of something that looks to be growing. Oh, Earth is. Oh, wait. Let's go back to that puffball because I thought this was a Mars picture. But Earth, this is an Earth picture on the left, and then a picture of Mars on the right. It looks much more rock-like. And that's where this story is going. They think these are just minerals. Here's another time lapse, day 1 to day 3. And, it does look like there's something growing under the soil and popping its little heads up. Nicknamed blueberries, based on their size and shape. And here is the actual. Oh, this article debunks it. But let's first take a look at the actual article. Here it is. May 2021. Fungi on Mars. Evidence of growth and behavior from sequential images by Sean Gabriel Joseph, Richard Armstrong, Xinli Wei, Carl Gibson, and 11 authors. And they have 43 images here that they believe point to things growing on Mars. Here's a picture of what looks like changes happening over time in terrain. That could be things growing. Let's just pop through these images real quick. Here's a picture of something growing up the sides of these dunes, or it could just be different colored sands blowing around, or some other mineral deposit, of course. This is interesting. These 4 pictures appear to show something white popping up out of the rock over 5 hours. Pretty cool. But again, minerals do this. Or erosion can do that. More pictures of dunes. Anyway, is it possible there are mushrooms on Mars? Yes, it is possible there are mushrooms on Mars. But this is not conclusive proof by any means. Here's another picture that appears to show things growing, popping up out of the soil. Again, this could be erosion. This could be some sort of mineral that grows under certain conditions. And it turns out NASA is very aware of things that grow on Mars called hematite concretions. Hematite concretions, which are just, like I said, minerals that it's an iron oxide compound, and they can grow due to certain conditions. When when water evaporates, or when the chemical structure is right, you can have these little spherical hematites can pop up. In fact, here's a picture from 2004. Was this taken by the first rover? This was taken by the Opportunity rover, not the first, but one of the mid-aught rovers that was sent to Mars, and you can see a bunch of little mushroom-shaped minerals, and they look like they could be growing, but they have been studied, and the consensus is those things are rocks. Space.com gives us 5 unproven alien life claims. Let's see. The 90s, 96. So number 1 in this list is the mushrooms on Mars. They claim are probably not mushrooms. Number 2 is Jesus Christ, Space.com. Why don't you load a little slower? What they're calling fossilized worms. This is when somebody found a meteorite in Antarctica that had been blown off of the surface of Mars a billion years ago, a long time ago. Something hit Mars, kaboom! It blew a bunch of rocks up into space, and a billion years later or something, at least several billion years later, this thing landed in Antarctica in good condition, and it appeared to have microorganisms or tiny worm-like living fossils, bacteria, fossils of a formerly living bacteria. And U.S. President Bill Clinton said that that was possibly life on Mars. People got excited. I remember that. And then nothing happened. And for 25 more years, nothing happened until now. There were some mystery gases in the 70s on Mars. They thought might have been evidence of life. This is the WOW signal. Still never been figured out. The WOW signal is a pretty good story if you want to look it up. A radio telescope found an unusually strong signal that seemed like it could have been from an intelligent race, like maybe it was a satellite radio station in outer space. And it only happened once, and they've never been able to do it again. And the guy who found it, Jerry Amen, circled the printout and wrote in red pen, "Wow." And that's always been called the WOW signal. And they've never figured out where that came from, but it definitely could have been just a random radio wave signal. Tabby star, that's the one where they found a star that was periodically dimming and undimming in a pattern, and they thought that might mean that there was some spaceships flying around it. The going theory now is that it was just some space dust, like an exploded planet or a coalescing moon or something, and it's probably just a weird collection of shit floating around Tabby Star. Or it's a space station. A Tabby's Death Star. And that is Exo-Mycology.